It's been a long time since I've made a video, so welcome back and welcome to the 2023-2024 Nations Exhibition Season 3, Round Number 1. Tonight we are going to be at Suzuka in the Group 4 cars, and I've got to hold off these hard-charging folks that are behind me. I got to tell you what, they're as hungry for the victory as I am, so stick around, check it out. All right, Nations has started, so if you want some points, you can jump in. Here are the dates, 228, 32, 36, and 39. Various cars available for those races. Anything that's Group 2 and Group 3, then you have the Cappuccino there on 3-2. So we're jumping here in this race at Suzuka Circuit in the Group 4 cars, and I have decided to go with none other than McLaren. After juggling back and forth a little bit, looked at Supra really hard, I had to go with McLaren because I made less mistakes in it. All right, lobby opens up, and thankfully this is not a top split lobby. In fact, I am door number 4 here in this lobby. I'm guessing it's the second split lobby. Makes me perfectly happy. That means I've got an actual opportunity to do well. But of course, like I always say, you got to qualify well if you want to do well. Now, as I'm setting up for the qualifying lap, I'm trying to give myself some space to the car in front of me, but he is just giving himself too much space to the cars in front of him. And next thing I know, we've got two folks zipping on by as we're starting our quali, and I'm like, well, this is not how I want to start it, but not much I can do about it. I have no idea how fast GR1 Beast Killer is, so I'm just like, well, I hope he's quick because I'm pretty close to him to start this lap, and there's really nothing I can do about it. He just gave himself too much space to the cars in front of him, allowed the folks behind us to get in front. In fact, I probably should have passed him much earlier, but again, I was just trying to queue in line with everyone else and be patient. Will it cost me? Well, we're going to find out. So here as we come around turn 1, I make it through there okay. Trying to get some heat in the tires. Your first lap of qualifying is not going to be your fastest lap on these hards. Typically, you're going to find some more pace in that second lap once you put some heat into the tires. Now, I'm trying to put in about a 210.4 to 210.6. That's what I was qualifying with in practice in the races the night before. So I'm going to be super happy with something in that 210.4 range. And if I do any better than that, I will be absolutely elated. Now, this lap isn't feeling particularly fast, but it's not a terrible lap. It's what I would call a good, nice, safe banker lap. GR1 Beast Killer is not doing too bad in front of me. He's not holding me up or anything like that, not making any big mistakes. It's going to cause me to really catch up to him and then struggle because I'm right on his rear bumper. I am starting to get a little bit close, but again, slipstream is off in qualifying for GT1 class. I'm sure it is for GT2 and GT3 as well, but it's off for the GT1 classes, so there's no concern with dirty air or even getting slipstream and gaining some extra time. So Beast Killer goes wide here on the opening qualifying lap, so I'm slipping on by him, and I'm like, okay, well, that's cool because now I've actually got some space to the folks in front of me to work in. I don't have him distracting me or causing me to take a poor line by following him through a corner or anything like that. So we're going to see here what lap 1 ended up looking like in just a second. I've got a purple sector going into 130R. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. I mean, that's solid. I have no idea what Lead Sled put down. Let's see, it's a 210.086. Of course, I think he just put that down. And then it's 296.36 from Lisa Salters. So I wasn't sure what the lap time was when I hit that purple sector. I crossed the line with a 210.241, and I am just pumped about that. I'm in P4 right now, and I got one more chance to put in a better lap than a 210.2. All week long, I was struggling to get down to a 210 flat or even into the 210.9s in those practice lobbies. So sitting at a 210.241, man, I was super happy with that effort in the McLaren. So now I can push a little bit harder because I've already got what I think is a solid lap time under my belt. I shouldn't fall too far back down the ranks with that 210.241, just looking kind of how everyone else is falling on the list here. That's a solid first lap. Then I notice I'm blue here through sector 1 up by almost a tenth. So I'm like, that's not too terrible. That put me in a 210.1 something. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm just going to stick with this lap, see what I can do. Come down here through the fast right-hander. See another person drive off the track there. Someone made a mistake. Try not to let that distract me. Sometimes you see those people off the side of the road. Ends up distracting you quite a bit. And then I notice I'm up by more than a tenth heading into the heavy braking zone here at the hairpin. And now I'm kind of like, hey, it is possible that I may actually get a 209 something, which, again, like I said, I hadn't done all week long, especially not in the McLaren. I tried out the Super, and I was able to get a little bit lower lap times than I did in the McLaren, but I was way more consistent in the McLaren, made less mistakes, went off the track less, so I figured I'd jump in the McLaren to do this race. Now, as we come down through Spoon, get into fourth gear and power out, and it's feeling like a good lap. It wasn't my fastest exit out of Spoon ever, but it was solid and was good enough. And so now I'm coming down the back stretch, heading towards 130R. I just got to kind of try and hold that speed through this left-hander, a little tap of the brake, get there on the curb, 128, 129, not too bad. I'd rather be 130, but that's okay. Getting on the brakes, getting into Cassio's triangle, take a pretty decent angle, but I felt like my chicane wasn't quite as good as the previous lap as I went a little bit deep on the exit. But how will this lap turn out? It's looking good. Cross the line with a 2:10.0. That is great. I'm P2 to start the race, and I'm elated. I'm just absolutely beside myself. I actually did better than qualifying in practice for a change. So I'm like, now, well, that's super. But then I look and I got Lead Sled behind me here. He's only 12, thousandths of a second behind me. And so I'm like, oh, now I got to hold off Lead Sled the whole race, which should be interesting. So, excited about the qualifying. Now let's get to the race and see if I can do anything with this great qualifying result. Lined up ready for the grid start with false start check is a 3X tire wear, 1X fuel use, 10 lap sprint race, no pit stops, and we are ready to launch it. As soon as the lights go out, and it's go time. And I get an absolutely outstanding launch. Catch Lisa Salters sleeping at the light, and I'm pulling hard down the straight, heading towards turn one here at Suzuka down the inside. Leave Lisa Salters plenty of room on the outside to operate and slide right in front. Take P1 in turn one. And now I've got the task of just keeping the folks behind me as I push this McLaren to its limits and try and get a victory here in this nation's event. Now, Lisa Salters qualified with a 2:09.6, so believe me, I know that was 4/10 faster than my qualifying time, which typically translates into better race pace. So my goal here, do not make any errors. Don't force any errors. Let something hopefully happen behind you. Hopefully Lisa Salters will make a mistake at some point and fall behind. So right now I've got a solid 4/10 gap heading into the hairpin, so not too much pressure here on lap one heading into that hairpin. That is a good overtaking opportunity right there at the hairpin. Probably one of the best on the track outside of the chicane and turn one. So those are really your three main overtaking areas. Pretty rare in the practice races that I saw anyone overtake here at Spoon, as this is just a dangerous corner to try and overtake on. And then again here at the end of the straight, you've got an opportunity at 130R. If you are absolutely super brave, you can go for a move there, but I would probably just hold off and wait till the chicane. So as I head down the long straight, Lisa Salters a good about 3/10 behind me as we head into 130R. I back it off into sixth gear, get on. The back end slides out a little bit. Lisa Salters kind of peeks to the inside. I thought Lisa Salters was just looking for their break point. Next thing I know, they were kind of alongside me there. So then as I come out the end of Cassio's triangle, I wasn't expecting Lisa Salters to leave their nose in there right there. So a little bit of contact. Not intentional by me. I know Lisa was going for the move there. Saw a little bit of an opportunity when I had that wiggle coming out of 130R, and I know that because Lisa sent me a message telling me so. So, and again, no harm, no foul. In fact, it ended up costing Lisa more than it did me, as Lisa Salters drops back 2 positions there behind Lead Sled and Spider Racer. Now, Lead Sled, pretty quick fella, to be honest with you. Usually is better than me on the leaderboard, so I know how fast Lead Sled is. And so it is not lost on me that I've just held off Lisa Salters, who's also tends to have better race pace than I have. And now I've got to deal with Lead Sled behind me. Behind Lead Sled, we've got Spider Racer, who, well, honestly, has been really rapid lately. Recently, just been getting some great results, and also quite the fan of the Macca, so I know he's pretty good in the McLaren, as the McLaren was his manufactured not too long ago. So I know I've got my work cut out for me over the next 9 laps, as I've got to hold off these hard chargers that I know they want this victory as bad as I do. So they're going to be pushing here on me soon, and I've just got to try again not to make any error. Example of that, a little further in the lap, heading to 130R, I take the corner, and you see Lead Sled goes wide. That's the kind of error I'm trying to avoid. I'm hoping that the folks behind me make the errors, and that allows me to get the gap that I need to pull off this victory. Because like I said, I know Spider Racer's got good pace. I know Lisa Salter's got good pace. And I know Lead Sled also has good pace. I don't know about the 359. He is in the Aston Martin, so I have no idea what to think about him. Now, as we head down towards turn 1, Spider Racer all up in the lunchbox, up the tailpipe, gives me a little bump draft even on the straight. So I'm like, okay, he's going to work with me on that straight. It's early in the race. He doesn't want to put the pressure on me, I don't think, because that can cause, again, him possibly lose that position to Lisa Salters and even Lead Sled. So heading into the S's, I've got about a 4/10 gap, and that makes me feel comfortable. When I have that 4/10 to 5/10 gap, I'm like, okay, that's a little too far even for the diviest of dive bombs. So I really want to maintain this gap. The problem is Spider Racer won't let me have that gap. He keeps closing it on me. So as you see, as we come down through here in the hairpin, he gets a little bit better hairpin than I do. As we come out of the exit, drops that gap down into the 3/10 range. I'm like, making me nuts. I just want to maintain that 4/10 to 5/10. Spider Racer looking a little bit down the inside there as we head into Cassio's triangle, but I think he's just trying to see his brake marker, not really going for the move right there. Still early in the race, still a little bit far back. I get a decent exit there, but generally speaking, Spider Punk Racer was getting the better exits out of that triangle than I was. He was actually catching me here on the straight before turn 1 and just had me looking in that rearview mirror the whole race. I was trying not to, Spider's super clean racer, so I wasn't worried about the dive bomb or anything crazy happening. It's just I knew he had good pace, and when the guy behind you has really good pace, you know that just one little mistake is all it's going to take to lose your position. So you just got to be really keyed in on your apexes. Trying to hit my apexes here in the S's, trying to come off the throttle, get on it early here to maintain that good exit velocity coming up the hill. So important. And then in these double right-handers, you want to maintain speed. Easy to brake a little too late or a little too early and get a car upset right here and just lose a lot of time. That opens you up for the hairpin here at the end of this small straight heading towards the hairpin. So again, I got that 4/10 gap. Feel comfortable about that here on lap number 4. Get on the brakes, get down into first gear, trying to coast it around that corner, maintaining some speed, getting back in second and on the throttle early. Now, looking good for me right here, but I got to tell you, that's about the biggest lead I had the entire race up to lap 7. You can rinse and repeat every single lap over and over again. I'd pull a little bit of gap, and Spider would just rake it right back in, get right back up my tailpipe. And I got to tell you what, he's having his own fun because he has got Lisa Salters all over the back of his McLaren as well. So he's got work to do with the guy behind him. I'm kind of hoping they fight or something happens here that allows me to kind of escape the slipstream, get away a little bit. I don't know how long I could actually stay away from these two because they just seem to have the better race pace than I have. Like I said, I put in a qualifying lap that I had not done all week. So, it's not surprising to me that I'm not just walking away from these guys who also put in very solid qualifying laps and typically speaking have pretty good race pace. Moving along to the end of lap 7 through Cassio's triangle. As I exit out of here, I'm trying to get some gap on Spider as we head down the straight, and I did not get the exit that I needed. So I move over to the right-hand side because he is coming like a freight train right up the backside. He peeks down the inside, then he slings it to the outside. I slide over to the left a little bit to get a better angle into turn one, and we are side by side heading through turn one. A little bit of contact there as we enter the exit of the double apex there at turn one, turn two. Nothing major, just a little bit of contact. My angle was a little bit wider, and Spider's wanting to turn in there. Now I'm just kind of taking my time through the S's. I'm not pushing the car hard. I'm hoping that Spider goes for something here, maybe goes a little deep, and he gets alongside Lisa, but I'm not having any luck, so I'm going to try and open the gap here, get on the gas early, and pull away as we head towards the double right-handers. I'm able to open the gap just a little bit, and I really need to hang on to this lead before I get to the hairpin, as I know that is a good overtaking opportunity. Get on the gas early, and fortunately get on a little bit earlier than Spider does, so I'm able to extend the lead as we head down towards the hairpin here on lap number 8. Get on the brakes. He looks down the inside, gives me a little tap from the rear, lets off the gas, and slides back in behind me there as we exit. He was, I'm sure, not intending to hit me from behind, but he's also trying to defend Lisa Salters there and, stay right on the back bumper of yours truly as we're, heading here towards the end of the race. Everything's starting to tighten up, and it's pretty tight heading back here, at least through the top fours. I can see 1 through probably 5 in my rear view mirror as I'm racing right now. So as we head down the backstretch, I have that about a little more than a 4/10, almost a 5/10 gap as we head out. Now he's got the slipstream, so he's able to pull on me here down the straight, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm more comfortable with that 4/10 to 5/10 gap. That's what I'm looking for. Now as we head towards Cassio's Triangle, like I said, this is really the spot that I wasn't necessarily struggling on, but he was just getting a little bit better exit right here, and a little bit better exit plus the slipstream just kind of compounds right there. So you can see the time is decreasing, so I move over to the right, then back over to the left, try and break a little bit of the slipstream. I'm not going to do any of that crazy snaky crap. It drives me nuts when other people do it. But, a smart move here and there to just break a little bit of slipstream, just enough that I can go into turn one uncontested. On lap 9, I just got to hold on to this lead for a little over 1 lap. Really almost 2 laps, to be honest with you. I got lap 9 and lap 10. Not quite as close to me in the S's as he was on lap number 8. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I just got to maintain this gap, this 3/10 gap, but he is not letting me have it. He comes right back, roaring up on the rear bumper, get into the left-hander, going up the hill again, trying to get on the gas, break away from him, going up the hill. Did get a little bit better exit than Spider heading up the hill, but is it going to be enough as we head into the double left-handers? He's a little bit quicker than me through these double left-handers as well. He was tending to catch me through here, and then I was tending to have a little bit of a better exit right here. This time, not such a good exit. He's hanging just about 2/10 behind me. I get on the brakes hard, angle it right towards the apex, but he slides it down the inside anyway. He sticks it in there. He did the old, hey, if you see a gap, you got to go for it racer move. No qualms for me. I won't fight it. I tell you what, it was a clean move. He didn't push to pass or anything crazy like that. He saw the gap. He put his car in there. Nothing I could do. His car was right there, so I couldn't push him off the track. He didn't push me off the track. We just both fought for the same space, and he won. Now he takes that weird angle, and it slows me down going into Spoon, and Lisa Salters jumps on it, sends it down the inside of me in Spoon. And I'm like, oh no, I've lost 2 positions in the matter of 2 turns. It's so frustrating. And look, I'm telling you, it's not over. As you can see, P3, 4, and 4, 5, and 6 are all right there, ready to take advantage of any mistakes. Heading into Cassio's Triangle, I want to get right on the back of Lisa Salter's bumper because I want to be able to take advantage. I know they're going to race. I know this last lap is going to be hectic, and I want to be there to take advantage of whatever might happen. But I got to tell you what, these 2 are quick around the track, and I'm struggling to keep up with them. Now, I am catching back up to Salters. You see the gap dropping there close to 3/10 as we head towards turn 1, and I'm hoping again, like I said, for a little bit of slip or something going on. Both take the corner pretty well. I get back into that 2/10 gap as we head out of turn 1, turn 2 here at Suzuka into the S's now. And really, honestly, I took that like I'm leading the race. I need to send it into the S, a little bit of a straighter line, a little more to the inside, try and close that gap because I've got that dirty air I'm dealing with, and I've been out front all race. I'm not really used to that dirty air. So I'm like, wait a minute, where'd all my grip go? So as we head up the hill, that gap is now opened up to 5/10. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm too far back to take advantage of anything in the hairpin. I take a peek at my rearview mirror, and I tell you what, the 359 is coming quick in the Aston Martin. I'm like, oh my goodness, could I lose another spot here? I hope not, but we're going to go in the hairpin. We're going to see what happens here. Lisa Salters goes to the outside. Spider defends the inside line. Lisa Salters looking for the cutback, and oh my goodness, had I been closer right there, I could have been on the inside there, inside of Lisa Salters. It could have made something. We could have had 3 wide heading down this straight. Oh, if I just been a little bit better in those S's. But they're side by side heading towards Spoon. I'm looking to take advantage of any mistakes. They get on the brakes. Lisa Salters looking for the cutback again, peeking down the inside. Spider leaving a little space in there, goes a little wide, a little bit of contact, gets loose. I lift just a little bit, thinking Spider Racer was about to spin or lose it right there. And that little bit of a lift, that opens the door for the Aston Martin as Spider Racer looks down the inside of Lisa Salters. Aston Martin to the right of Go Gretty as we head towards 130R. No mistake by Lisa Salters. Spider staying in P2. I hold off the Aston Martin coming out of 130R. Lead sled now to the outside of the Aston Martin. I slam down through the gears to slow down the McLaren. Lisa Salters gets out of Cassio's triangle in first, followed by Spider Racers, then yours truly, followed by the 359. And I grab a podium in round number 1 of the Nations race. And I got to tell you, I was pretty happy with it. That was an exciting race. Fun ending. Good racing by all the folks there in the top 5, top 6. Super clean racing. A little bit of bumping here and there, but it was nothing major. There was nothing dirty. Tip of the hat to Lisa Salters and Spider Punk Racer. Congrats on your first and second place. Enjoyed the race. We'll enjoy future races with y'all. Lead Sled 359. Enjoyed the race with y'all as well. Congratulations on your top 5. And I take home 285 points to start the season. I'm pretty happy with that. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed all the action. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back and check out some more. For myself, Go Gretty. Y'all have a great